All right. Let's find the YouTube stream. Let me get into this and see what we can dig up. Close a few tabs there. You can turn my wildest ideas into. You cannot turn my wildest ideas into a song, dear. Right. Let's find a YouTube stream. So I can keep up with you guys. Keep up with the madness. You get me? All right. Yes, doing this. Doing one of these. And doing one of them. That might be even better. All right. Mm-hmm. Switch off that one. That's a rude boy. What else you need to do? Switch off this. All right. Who we got in the building? Who we got in the building? So I heard it just like you. Conor Benn left Eddie. I told the person, slow down, steady. Say that again. Conor Benn left Eddie Hearn and Matchroom boxing for Zuffa. Well, that's some maneuver. I thought there'd be more chance that Conor Benn would sign with Kathy Duva. At the moment, Eddie versus Dana, there's only one loser. This shit made me switch on the computer to go live so we can share these thoughts. Because boxing is the swill barrel of sports. It's a dirty racket. Yeah. Woo. Top 5 British MCs. There is no top 5 British MCs. All the best hip hop MCs are American. There is no top 5 yet. There's still yet to establish a top 5 British MCs. You can have a top 5 British dancehall artists. You know what I mean? It's still yet to really get there. Not hanging, but that's just my opinion. Guzzy, no loyalty in boxing. The great Mickey Duff once said, if you want loyalty, go buy a dog. Crazy. Dana must have offered huge money, says SK, after what Eddie did for him after consuming those eggs laughing my ass off. Well, Eddie didn't do anything for him, you know what I mean? Like, the only reason Eddie took all that heat is because he knew that Conor was capable of doing stadium fights, especially the publicity he got from the media after the fallout from the PED tests and the cancellation of the first Eubank fight. Eddie didn't do him any favors. You know what I'm saying? Like, Conor gave Eddie 2 stadium fights in a year where Anthony Joshua was absent. He got 2 stadium fights from Conor. Conor don't owe him nothing. It's not his son. You know what I mean? Conor got to look out for his son. He's got kids. They're crucifying Conor, man. It's like, wow. Why do people take it so personally? It's a business decision. Why are people taking it so personally? Apparently 8 figures for one fight, says D. Severs. One fight, 8 figures. All right. Wow. 10 mil. That's because he's a big draw, isn't it? Like he can do stadiums, so he's good for that money. That's why Eddie took the bullets. He's good for that money. Yeah, they're trolling Eddie properly. God, he said Eddie took the media backlash. Yeah, that's his job. That's what promoters do. That's what Bob Arum did for Chavez Jr. when he got popped for the diuretic, and he did it for Margarito when he had the plaster of Paris in his gloves and got caught. That's what promoters do. They take the backlash because on the back end, they're going to make money for the network. And then they make money for the network. They make money for themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right, SK. You're one fight from being in a coma in boxing. Can't reject that money. See what you said there? You said it so succinct that it just couldn't be phrased any better. You just said it in a nutshell. You know what I mean? What's the realist? You're going to go from the biggest Conor Benn fanboy to a Conor Benn hater. Now he's left your daddy. I don't know what that means exactly. You know what I mean? You sound like someone's got daddy issues. I know who my dad is. You might not know your dad is. I know my dad. I know who my dad is. Bruce Gass. What's up, Bruce? Classic Dana tactic. Offer that can't be turned down, then bench him for 2 years so he can't get any competitors. Attention says Eddie snuggling up with him ringside at all the latest fights. Dana saying, yeah, get that free promo. Might also show Zuffa are desperate or got money to burn or both. It seems like what they're trying to do is just do shock value tactics now. It just seems like shock value tactics. Yeah, let's sign Jai. Let's sign Eddie. I mean, let's sign Conor from Eddie. Yeah, shock jock tactics. That's how they're going to promote their show. That's how they're going to promote the brand. But in that time, I'm guessing the quality of the cards and the main events are going to go up. Yeah, they're not going to bench Conor. Why would they bench him? It just wouldn't make sense, really. Yeah, they're not going to bench him. Wow, that's deep though. Eddie done something similar when he came with the zone. Source on one fight. Is it just a one fight deal? Because like you see that Johnny Fisher thing, it was just a one fight deal from Turkey, basically. From Turkey to fight TKV on the Tyson Fury undercard. Turkey is he's destabilizing Eddie's camp right now. That's what he's doing. Yeah. Is it just a one fight deal? I don't think it's a contract, is it? Oh, that's why Conor is saying I'm hoping Eddie can be on board. That's why he's saying that. It's not a permanent move. I don't think it's a permanent move. Hey, listen, Sylvester. Big up Montserrat. You know what I'm saying? Big up Montserrat, bro. I've never been, actually. All the promoters are going to be forced over to UFC pay as you go payment. Then all boxers' purses will go down. Turkey doesn't have shares in Matchroom. I think he does, you know. I think he did definitely bought into darts and snooker or something. I don't know if he has shares directly though. I'm not too sure. They did some business the other day though. Guzzy, it's different if it's only a one fight deal. 10 million for one fight. Avalon, Turkey stitching up Eddie. Let's see if we can get some details. You want details? Who is Conor gonna fight then? Because Dana's saying they don't recognize the belts. You're getting 10 million. You don't care if there's a belt there or not. See, Eddie's finding out that this green belt, green light, red light, green light belt thing he's doing don't really mean too much, man. They're putting up big bread like that. You know what I mean? Conor hasn't even fought for a world title yet. And he's probably up there in the top 10 highest paid boxers in the game right now. He's just making bread, bro. And then all the money he made for Chris Eubank when he was getting fined. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this is what it is, man. This is what it is. No loyalty in boxing. Yeah, it's a dirty game. It's a filthy game. Bro, it's a serious bars. I knew you'd be here. Yeah, I had to drop something. After consuming all them eggs. Eddie went all out for it. It wasn't Eddie though. It was like the person who went out for him was the National Anti-Doping Panel. They turned over the British Boxing Board of Control and UKAD's decision twice. And see, like cunts like that in the comment section, you're a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy. I read the documents like that were provided into the public. It's you getting to Eggy boy Conor. No, they overturned the ban twice. Twice. Not once, twice. They made the British Boxing Board of Control take a knee twice. UKAD took a knee twice. This ain't like Tyson Fury's case. Tyson Fury took liability for the Nandrolone. Conor didn't take no liability. They said you ain't got a case. I don't know what the details are. That's what they said. Now maybe Conor is I don't know, got some connections and he can get the National Anti-Doping Panel to do that. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. See why you people get bent out of shape, yeah? You get bent out of shape because you don't like the receipts. You don't like it's the receipts. I don't make stuff up. I didn't embellish. I just told you what happened. And I read it word for word, and I printed up the receipt when I said it. What are you getting angry for? You guys are weak, boy. I mean, your daddy, you sound like you. I mean, your daddy did something to you. Big up from Scotland. Nadia, shut that shagalak. Scotland, big yourself up, man. Toro said exactly 100. Yeah, I just read the receipts out. I like the competitive matchmaking from Zuffa so far. I don't mind more belts personally. I evaluate the legitimacy of each championship based on its own historical record. Maratoon. I don't know why people are surprised with Ben. Does he come across like an honorable guy? No. I thought he wanted the WBC like his dad. Let's see how his career goes. Hearn would have protected him. Hearn can't protect you in a boxing ring. You go in a boxing ring, you can die. Like someone just said it. You can get comatose in there. It's as simple as that. Hearn ain't protecting no one, man. Hearn didn't do Conor no favors. Hearn did himself and his brand and his business a favor. He didn't do no one no favors. Yeah? If you had no market value, you think he would have took the bullets for you. He didn't do that with what's his name? The boy from Brooklyn. Although it looks like they're getting back into business now. Yeah, but the only reason that is because AJ got his clock cleaned against Daniel Dubois. And they haven't really got no heavyweight action going on. You know what I mean? Who's the best? The most popular heavyweight Matchroom have now is Dave Allen, who weighed 270 on the scales. And he's fighting a 6-rounder tomorrow. Dave Allen. And Johnny, as someone said in my subscriber group, Fish and Chip Johnny. Yeah, that's who they got. Fish and Chip Johnny. Yeah, I'm butchering everyone's name. You know what I mean? Everyone's name getting butchered. Is that what I mean, man? I've got my NHS glasses on, so names are getting butchered like Dewhurst, me old son. If he's really getting 10 million, then even Eddie would say, take that bag. Yeah, take the bag. I mean, the situation with Johnny Fisher, yeah? Johnny just didn't fancy the job. He just didn't fancy the job against TKV. Because that was another, like, he's not leaving Matchroom. It was a one-fight job. You know what I mean? Yeah, Eddie's skint. He's skint. So, like, he can't afford. This is what I was saying, like, he might, I don't know, if he took the Netflix money, it's less cards, isn't it? It's less cards. No, it doesn't pay the Zuffa pay structure at all. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because they're not. That applies to certain boxers who are going to be on Zuffa cards. He's probably. I don't know. They're probably, if you're going to pay him 10 million, yeah, Doc, he's going to go on Netflix or something. It's going to be a Netflix fight, likely. Yeah. It's probably not going to be a Paramount Zuffa card. He's probably going to go on Netflix. I don't know who they're going to get. Probably going to get a world title fight. I don't know. I don't know who the opponent is, but they could easily get someone current of good market value. Could be Shakur Stevenson. It could be Shakur Stevenson. If it's just a one-off fight, could be Shakur. Yeah, we'll see. Eddie will be, because then he'll lose Shakur, even though Shakur's not signed to him. He's stealing the fight. He could be stealing the Shakur Stevenson fight from Eddie. That's what he could be doing. Yeah. That's what could be happening right now. Yeah. No, they're not going to, like, the Garcia fight is going to take ages. Like Garcia's fighting tomorrow. They're going to want to get something in the next 2 or 3 months. And that's likely to be Shakur. They're going to want Conor Benn to be fighting by summer. Well, it's not a matter of breaking the pay structure. They broke it already with Jai. They broke it. I mean, whatever they signed Jai for is probably more than like. But then again, he's the Zuffa champion, isn't he? So it might be how much. I don't know what he's been paid, Jai. Like he's fought Jack Massey on a Riyadh season. He fought someone else on a Riyadh card. I believe Bradis. So I don't know how much he got paid. But I believe the Zuffa champions are paid 750,000 defending their titles. If you're a champion, the challenger, I can't remember what they get. 10-round fighters get a certain amount. Salute, 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 salute. All right. Yeah, got everyone talking though, isn't it? It's definitely got everyone talking. All right, so. Bloody hell. Tell my boy that laptop's clapped out. Let me talk to the other one. This one's just not working at all, man. It's just not working at all. Right, let me see if I can sort something out. Is it having it? Alright, let's just go to the comment section quickly. Yeah. Could be Shakur next. Could be Shakur. So, I wonder why they're crucifying Conor like that. I don't get it. When what's his name? Michael Hunter drew with Povetkin on a Matchroom card, and he won the fight, but they called it a draw. And he let him go, and they let Martin Bacoli go after they won. So loyalty has to run both ways, surely. King, Zuffa has to be paying way over the market value for Conor to sign with them. Did Dana do it just to F with Eddie? Maybe, but that would certainly contradict Zuffa's alleged business model. There is no alleged business model. They were supposedly wasn't going to go into the sanctioning body market, but they did. They signed up Jai. He still has the IBF title at the moment. No one knows what the business model is. No one knows. There is no settled arrangement of what they're doing. Is Ben as easy a fight as Tio was? He could well be. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps Shakur might expose him, but Shakur don't have no real thunder in his punches. I think Ben being a naturally bigger guy, he's way more aggressive than Tio. Styles make fights. He's way more aggressive than Tio. TL just weren't aggressive enough. You gotta remember, man, like William Sabeda gave Shakur a good fight, and he was aggressive, free volume. If Conor brings volume like that, could be an interesting fight. Could be an interesting fight. Okay, let's see if there's any info on this story. Yeah, Conor's 29 now, man. He's not a kid. He hasn't got time to play around. He's 29 years of age. So people are saying it's a shock split, but we have to wait until more details. Zuffa Boxing has made another significant addition to its roster, says Andreas Hell. I'm on ESPN. Details regarding the length and terms of the deal were not readily available. Zuffa Boxing announced the signing on social media on Friday, today, while Benn expressed his excitement over the deal in a statement shortly after. I'm filled with excitement and hunger for what's ahead with Zuffa Boxing. You see, the Shakur fight is easy to make because Shakur is a free agent. Base the Kid said his comment didn't go through. Looks like I must have used the banned word. I'm not too sure. No, I know what the pay structure is. It's 750 for a champion, but Ben's not a champion. They don't have an exact pay scale. That's a guideline. That's a guideline. They weren't supposed to mess with the sanctioning bodies, but they're messing with them. They signed the IBF champion. I'm saying it's not consolidated yet what they're doing. No one knows. They're still making a lot of it up as they go along. They're not going to pay Conor 700K. They're not going to pay Terence Crawford 700K or Canelo if they're going to be messing with them guys. If they sign with Dana. I want the legacy fights. He said, what's ahead with Zuffa Boxing? The way he's speaking, it's more than one fight. He said he fears no man at any weight, and I'm ready to give the fans the fights they've been calling for. I'm in my prime. Together, we have been bold and ambitious. Dana White called Benn signing a huge addition. They've signed him by what they're saying. It's not just, it don't just sound like it's for one fight. So Conor's saying he still wants Eddie to be involved, but how exactly? Dana White said Conor is an absolute beast and a superstar. He shows up every time and destroys people. And now some of the best fighters in the world are calling him out. He's ready for a world title next, and I can't wait to see him complete in Zuffa Boxing. Is he going to be a Zuffa Boxing champion? I don't know. He's a huge addition to the growing stable of very talented boxing. Mark Shapiro, president of the TKA Group, alluded to the promotion making international deals during a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show. And the signing of Benn would mark significant movement in the market. So I've got Conor Jayapataya. I told Eddie, pay for that kid's fight against Chinkara and re-sign him. But they didn't. They didn't. And everyone said they shouldn't pay for him, beats. He's not worth the money. Well, Dana and Turkey don't think that. They don't think that. Anything that's not locked down and nailed into the floor, them men are gonna snatch it. 8 figures is a legitimate excuse to duck Boots. I don't get the comment. Boots is at 154. Conor's going back down to 147. Kelvin, no way is Eddie going to be involved with Conor in this sort of situation unless it's financially rewarding to him. You mean rewarding to the zone? You know what I'm saying? Shimmer. Yeah, NHYT says the UFC is also a 750k cap, but the big stars make more than what people think. Yeah, I can well imagine they do. Mm. You got to remember, Conor's coming off huge purses in his last 2 fights, man. They're stadium fights. Unbelievable. Someone says, is this personal? Are they trying to destroy their only US competitor? Someone says, if I am Eddie, I am trying to keep Boots and Bam for the American market. Zuffa will certainly poach them. Yeah, but better mind they don't lose Ben Whitaker and a whole lot of them, man. At this rate here, you know what I mean? Go for a Matchroom to Matchstick. You know what I mean? Call it Matchroom or Matchbox. You know what I mean? Call it Matchbox next. Mm. What do you mean? What does Ben have to do with the US market? Ben is one of the most marketable boxers. You know what I mean? Whether the UK or USA. In the UK, you had the IBF 147-pound champion, Lewis Croker, calling him out, wanting to give him a shot. Devin Haney wanted to fight him. Ryan Garcia wants to fight him. I heard Hitchens wanted to fight him. Shakur Stevenson wanted to fight him, called him into the ring after he beat T.O. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, SK. He screamed for Ben. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, T.O. was ringside at the Zuffa event. Exactly. Potential next signing. Yes, indeed. Could be. Yep, they made an offer for Bam. Eddie matched the matching right, but it looked like Robert Garcia didn't want to play, but the matching right won out. Hmm. Jake Paul has second jaw surgery. The second surgical procedure with the broken jaw he suffered on December the 19th in a knockout loss to Anthony Joshua. He said he had to get another jaw surgery. The screws and the plates were coming loose because apparently he didn't rest for the past 2 months. What? Well, sounds like a nasty injury, doesn't it? The jaw was fractured in 2 places. Must be something licky through in his face, boy. A man charged with trying to bribe a juror with up to $100,000 at the drug trafficking trial. A former heavyweight boxer pleaded guilty. Mustafa Faja entered the plea in Brooklyn federal court, where a plea agreement with the government called for him to serve roughly 5 to 6 years in prison when he is sentenced on June the 23rd. Mm-hmm. And there was another British boxer, a footballer. He got caught up in an attempted murder. He's locked up. I can't remember his name though. Ennis, Conor is the new Sol Campbell. Mr. Doc, laughing out loud. Hope getting punched up by AJ was worth it. But yeah, that jaw sounds like it's in some serious issues, isn't it? Oh, what, the new Sol Campbell? Yeah, yeah. Wasn't a very popular move when he left us for Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? He got it worse than Pat Jennings. Pat Jennings, he went from Tottenham to Arsenal. He didn't get it as bad as Sol Campbell though. I mean, he was a goalkeeper, Pat Jennings. Yeah, Jamal Charlo was crying about how he couldn't get fights on the PBC. Yeah, maybe he should go over to Zuffa. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what he needs to do. That's if they're interested. Wow, man. Conor said an opportunity he couldn't refuse. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody. Nobody saw it coming. Conor Benn had broken his silence on his departure from Matchroom boxing. So it's not just a one-off fight. They're saying that unless they just like went to print without the facts. All right, let's get onto this story. Let me just widen up the screen a bit. Hopefully the bloody thing don't, the wire doesn't short. Right, one sec, people. It's all about Conor right now. The news is just going crazy out there. It's gone crazy. He said he couldn't refuse. Hmm. Sick of box rate asking for me to verifications every second. He thanked Eddie Hearn for a decade of support. Yeah, he's been there since 2016. They were not only with me for those highlight moments, but stood shoulder to shoulder with me during tough times, he wrote. Hmm. He hopes Hearn can remain part of his team in some capacity going forward. Like what? Like what exactly? On the Zuffa boxing move, Ben was direct. They what happened there? They presented me with an offer I simply couldn't refuse. From guiding me when I first turned pro to headlining stadium shows, they were not only with me for those highlight moments, but stood shoulder to shoulder. So Just trying to work this out. I'd love Eddie to continue to be part of my team and for our partnership to evolve in this new chapter. What for, Connor? What nonsense are you talking about? I mean, the likes of Gary Spike, Carl Sullivan, you're just jealous. You sound jealous. I mean, you're a fellow boxer and you're making memes like that. You're just jealous. Wow, they're really getting stuck into him. I wouldn't expect any different. Just leave the United Kingdom, Connor. Just take all that dough. Just get away from the toxic shit. In America, you're not going to hear that. They don't care how all in their feelings people are. You just get out and go. So what happens with him and Tony Sims? Surely he doesn't stay in the Matchroom gym with Tony Sims. Surely. Now that's one that we need answers to. Where's Tony? Tony, what Tony thinks? Oh, Tony Sims. Tony Sims. What happens with Tony Sims in the Matchroom gym? Surely you can't stay in there. He's trained him since 2016. He's been his trainer for 10 years. I wonder what Nigel thinks. Nigel, his old man thinks about this. This is crazy, man. It's just the maddest story. Dana White, the poacher extraordinaire. Ben got that cheat allegation lingering around him. I'm sure he won't mind going, said Sylvester. Hans, he said Eddie signed that 5-year deal, not a moment too soon. Kevin said Eddie better start tightening up contracts, all these free fight deals with Matchroom fighters. Yeah, that not really pop right now, you know what I mean? That not really pop right now. You know what I mean? They're chasing the bag, rude boy. They're chasing the bag. My name is chasing the bag. Is Zuffa going to buy Matchroom out, says Crescentio. Dion Binuli said there was no egg to at 93 octane. There we go. Heard Zuffa might be signing with Sky for the UK TV rights, said Delboy. Yeah, I've heard that. Big bus, big Always been a cutthroat business. Shaking my head. Always been cutthroat. Always been cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor versus Conor Benn. The battle of the Conors. That'd be sick. Oh gosh. It's all good. Del boy says Dana moving serious. Can't lie. I've been low key impressed with Zuffa's early shows. Few complaints, but overall a promising start. Yeah, there's some good knockouts at the last show. You know what it is, yeah, is he just doesn't. He's very detached, Dana. He's just a detached individual. He's detached. That's why Turkey went for them guys. You see, I see. When I was saying all this, I was just getting a lot of hatred. I'm just telling you, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just from my generation. Don't probably not like a lot of the younger people. We're able to disseminate the information without attaching my own narrative to it. I'll attach a narrative to it later, but first we got to deal with the black and white. The reason Turkey didn't go with the old guard of promoters, you know why? They're like sucking up to they run to the press every second to talk. Zuffa don't do that. And I pointed that out from early. I pointed that out from early. Yeah? Dana doesn't do what Oscar and Eddie do. Go to the camera every second. No. They strategize their shit and they work out their place and then boom. That's what they do. But then again, they got Turkey's money as well. So that makes it easier to do that. Ghazi said he's like that with his UFC fighters. He tells them straight. That's it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. No, I don't. He definitely can't work both with Eddie. No, DAZN ain't gonna have that. You're either exclusive to DAZN or get the hell out. Amongst other things, Dana understands how to control the press better than the old guard. Is my read on it. Yeah, he suppresses the press. He suppresses how far they can go. And I said he was going to do that. I said he was. That's what he's going to do. And I didn't even know nothing about the UFC, but it seemed obvious what was going to happen. Sylvester says, didn't boxing platform already try something like this before? I think Zuffa, just another platform that will come and go. Could be. Sassad says 85 people, only 28 likes. Smash the likes. Get the live out there. Yeah, indeed. Smash the like button, man. You heard the people. Hit the like. So, I haven't got anything on Tony Sims. Obviously, it's very early. And he's not going to come out and say anything yet. Tony Sims, Conor Benn. Anything? Still too early. Still too early. Conor Benn, Tony Sims kept me from walking away. I mean, he's saying all these people were really low to him. Is he going to leave Tony Sims? Could well do. Conor don't care though. You see all the people disliking Conor. He doesn't care. Conor actually doesn't care. Shakur is a free agent. Rolly's with the PBC. He can fight anywhere. Rolly's next fight is on DAZN. Can fight anywhere. Rolly's fight before that was on DAZN. They can fight anywhere. The market has changed, my friend. Yeah, I think Glanton will give him a tough fight if he doesn't get caught early, Mr. Doc. I was thinking that it could be a possible upset. I don't know why. I think Jai is the better fighter. But I just keep seeing this upset. Yeah, it seems to be real, Freddie. It seems to be real. It does seem to be real. PBC, they're coming with Spence and Tim Tszyu on pay-per-view. Kelvin, will Eddie start calling Conor a drugs cheat now? I don't know, man. I don't know. SK, Dana gets things done. That's why they went for him. Listen, $11 billion combat sports franchise is what the UFC created. 11 billion. There's not a boxing outfit who's even got close to $1 billion. I think Matchroom are close, but they're not just boxing. They're not just boxing. They've got a pool competition on right now, Matchroom in America. So it was on TalkSport. Big up the beauty of the pencil. Saeed, he said late to this, but probably a better place for Conor, who isn't actually pursuing title unification routes. God bless, Pete. Pick yourself up. God bless, brother. No, it wasn't Zuffa. Well, it was Turkey. Netflix, basically. He was on the Netflix card with Turkey. They offered Johnny Fisher a fight with TKV, but it looks like he's going to turn it down. But I've got a feeling he's going to change his mind and go for it. I think he's a bit intimidated, I want to say, by Eddie to say, I want to take the fight. He's pretending that he's not ready for the fight, but at that money, everybody's ready. I'd take the, well, I wouldn't want my jaw to end up like Jake, so I wouldn't take it for that reason, but, you know, I don't feel the money's worth getting my jaw broke up like that. Doughboy said Johnny Fisher should take the money. He's rubbish. He should take it where he can get it. I don't think he's got no choice. I mean, he's not someone you can develop into a bona fide contender. Just take the money, Johnny. I mean, that Balaz guy nearly spilled him all over the place in Monaco, didn't he? Boxing's a short career. Everyone will bounce for the right money. Yeah, it's a short career. People talking about loyalty. Listen, when Conor's retired, Conor's 29. Let's say Conor's got another 5 years, right, before his prime is gone, even if he don't retire. Another 5 years. How old will Eddie be? Eddie will be in his early 50s. He'd still be promoting. Yeah. The beauty of the pencil says Dana's on smoke. Boy. Yeah, he's on pure smoke. Pure smoke, man. Yep. At NHYT, Eddie will dump Johnny like a sack of potatoes if Johnny stops selling tickets. Yes, he will. Octane, only a fool would turn down 8 figures. It was a prudent business decision. I like the way you wrote that. I like the use of the words, a prudent business decision indeed. It was. It's just business. It's business. It's business. It's business. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You want to thank Eddie. You know, don't thank no one. Do what you're doing. Don't thank anybody. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be remorseful and humble. It don't work for Conor. You know what I mean? It don't work. Just do what you're doing, innit? Do what you're doing. Do what you're doing. Guzzy, Eddie said in an interview, Johnny Bosch will be rewarded for staying loyal to him. Yeah, be rewarded getting his head kicked in, trying to play some serious boxer, getting his head kicked in. Yeah. So Saad, it's a one fight deal with Zuffa for 8 figures. I don't think it's a one fight deal. I don't think it is. That's not the way Conor's wording it. Conor's not wording it like it's a one fight deal. So it's been a great journey. He's talking about the belief and support he's got from Eddie, but Zuffa presented me with an opportunity I simply can't refuse. And he said a new chapter. If it was one fight, then say one fight. He's saying a new chapter. He wants Eddie to be involved in this new chapter. I'd like to see the Shakur fight.
Yes, people, what's happening? Just finished training, getting hard after in a UFC facility. What facility? More importantly, I'm excited about his future. Let's go.
I mean, if it was one fight, he wouldn't be in the UFC facility. He's in the UFC facility training. The future is now. Zuffa Boxing. They've signed him. They've signed him. It's not no one fight deal. They signed him up. That's what it is. At Teach, whoever thinks this is a one fight deal is being fooled and narrative driven. Agreed. Brewer says it can't be a one fight deal for that. No one is giving that bag away to someone who's going to run off and fight someone else. Hey, it could be, yeah, maybe Virgil Ortiz, if Conor's prepared to go up to 154, it could be. Maybe could, yeah, that's what they might announce. That Boots fight might not happen. It might not happen, Eddie. If Virgil escapes that technicality, whether it's relationship or contract violation, he might run straight into the contract of Dana White and Zuffa. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could well be Virgil Ortiz and Conor. Well, obviously the contract must be out now, Guzzy. It must be out. I can see Conor versus Ryan. So someone Ryan is out of contract. Ryan says he's out of contract, but Oscar is saying he's not. But then Conor can't wait that long for Ryan. Ryan's got a fight tomorrow. Ryan won't be fighting again until way down the year. Conor needs to get out there. So Shakur next. Yeah, if Ortiz was to jump over that side next, then it's game on. It is game on. Yeah, BW. Dana is making statements. He's making statements, man. He's shaking up the foundations right now. Shaking it up. Him and Turkey. Look at all the fighters like recently. What's been happening, man? All the fighters getting taken off the zone. Conor Benn, Katie Taylor, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Next is it's going to be Virgil, man. I guarantee you, Virgil's next fight is not going to be on the zone. It's not going to be on the zone. I'm seeing it already. It's not going to be on the zone. Not going to be on the zone, bro. Well, I don't know how much fights Boots has left. Boots, listen. You're asking, will Shakur sign with Zuffa? He's over there already. Literally. His last two fights have been on Ring Magazine cards. He's not signed with no one. He's a free agent. So if he's not working with Turkey, it might well be Dana. It could be any, depending what the deal is. He's a free agent. So a Conor Benn Shakur fight, boom, he's there already. Like the likes of Canelo. What did Turkey say? He wants to be in Canelo's corner until he retires. Canelo's last fight with not Zuffa, but Dana was promoting it. Yeah. They're controlling the board. Terence Crawford. Well, let's see if Terence Crawford can hold to this retirement. Let's see. Yeah. It's not a joke now. It's not a joke, bro. This is not a joke. It ceased to be a joke a long time ago. It could be Ben versus Tio. Yeah, it could be Ben versus Tio Ulix. It could be. See, Tio was at the last event. Wow. Conor Benn don't give a shit if you guys turn on him. Why would he give a shit? Tio going to get stopped by Conor. That'd be an interesting fight, though. Tio's defense will work better against Conor. It's the problem will be when he finally does get hit. But his defense will work better against Conor than it does against Shakur. Someone says after Eddie standing by Conor, threw them in Eddie's face. I don't know. I see that different to everybody. I've explained my position on that. Like, the only reason Eddie stood by Conor, he didn't stand by him because, he felt sorry for him so much. He was protecting his asset. He He was protecting his commodity. That's what he was doing. DW says, I don't blame Ben for taking the bag. I would have took the same. I would have took the bag. I would have took the bag. Only people like Deontay Wilder turn down $100 million contracts. Only people like Wilder do that. And apparently, he hasn't got the bread that he once had. That Telly chick is looking to take his dough or whatnot. You take the money. You take the money while you can in boxing. You take, especially when you're around your prime, you take the money. There's no arguments at all. You take the money. Come on, bro. He took a load of nonsense for 2 years. His own name ran in the mud with Simon Jordan types. He does that, like, see, to you, that's important. But to Eddie, it's part of the job. It's part of the job. That's the job of a boxing promoter is not to be a softie. You handle media. You do damage control. Yeah? Look how he's working with Jarrell Miller. I'm never going to work with him again. But now he's working with him. He saw them sitting together. He did it for the interest of Matchroom and the Zone. He didn't do it because, oh, poor Conor. Like, get out of that mindset. Sorry, not being funny. The mindset of some of the comments are childish. It's business. It's business. It's just business. Lennox, he says, this is some feminine energy from Dana. Am I the only one that remembers he tried to poach AJ from Eddie on some sneaky business and got embarrassed when AJ went public with it? I don't know if it's feminine energy, Lennox. I don't know if it's feminine. It's just, I mean, Conor is one of the biggest draws in the sport. If you ain't got a contract locked down with Conor, then it's down to Matchroom, isn't it? Like it or not, Eddie is sentimental with his fighters. He's always breaking down in tears, and there's enough money not to need it as much as you think. This will scar Eddie for sure. Yeah, just like it scarred Michael Hunter, whose career never recovered after he drew with Povetkin, and they dropped him. And they dropped Martin Bakoli after he beat Sergei Kuzmin. And they didn't pay for Jai or Pataya's last pay-per-view fight. And Jai looked down in the mud until Turkey, and Dana picked him up. They didn't invest in Jai's fight. They left him to do some pay-per-view on Tasman, and he didn't make no money from that fight. I mean, I don't get it, man. And the thing is, like, I'm gonna change the format on my channel because it's not working, and I'm sick of doing receipts and people ignoring the receipts. I'm sick of doing that. I'm sick of doing it now, right? I'm to be honest. Beats always being receipts and thing. I'm gonna be more sensationalist and more eye-catchy with my channel. When I get my graphic game up, I'm gonna study graphics for a little while. When I get my graphic game up and shit, watch and see. I'm gonna stop doing it. You know what I mean? Jai Patai didn't make no money for his first 18 fights. For his first 18 fights. Kovalev didn't make no money for his first, no. Jai didn't get paid for his first 19 fights. Kovalev, his first 18 fights. Yeah? It is what it is. It is what it is. Eddie tried to get Richardson Hitchens blackballed from out of them Ring magazine cards. He went to see Turkey. Oh, look at Keith Conley, and they've left me and they've put me out there. And at first, Turkey said to Richardson, I only deal with the promoters. I don't deal with the fighters. And now, see, Richardson's on that card. Whether Eddie's blessing or not, he's on that card tomorrow. If you think Eddie hasn't tried to gank promoters or fighters, this is what I'm saying. Like, people in the comments say, you love Eddie, you love. I don't love none of it. Listen, bro, I love gal. I love woman. I love breasts and gal with big bottom. What me like. I don't know what you like, bro. You might have them daddy issues, like I said. You know what I mean? I just give you it as it is. When I say Eddie is the best promoter, that's because he has been the best promoter in the last 10 years or so. He's been the best. That don't mean I love Eddie. It is what it is. Mickey Duff, listen, you guys can't talk to me on this thing. Don't try and get me to think how you guys think. When I've got the receipts, Mickey Duff told me a long time ago, if you want loyalty, all right, and this is a Hall of Fame British promoter, go buy a dog. Now, loyalty is good because it can build good bonds and you can build a lot, but loyalty has an expiry on it. Loyalty always has an expiry on it as well. Daniel said, watch them sign Usyk. They don't need to sign. They've got Usyk already. They've literally got Usyk in it already. Cesar, if you want loyalty, have deep pockets. Yes, indeed. 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 It's the same with your woman, bro. If you want loyalty, you better have like a 10-inch rammer, right? And you better make sure that she's got a nice bed and dwellings to stay and cook and sleep in and stuff. Yeah. Or she's going to find someone else. If she's a woman of value, she's going to find someone else. It is what it is. At Delboy, if you're a promoter, you are not serious if you don't try to sign the likes of AJ. Of course. Of course, like Dana was bound to try and sign AJ. The PBC tried to sign AJ. Yeah. AJ is the promoter's ultimate, you know what I mean, meal ticket. Assad. Nick Khan is pulling all the strings. Yeah, them guys, Nick Khan and Shapiro, Turkey, they're nightmares for Eddie right now. They are absolute nightmares. Don't worry about no Ben Shalom. Absolute nightmares. Octane, was Eddie premature in declaring war? Oh yeah. You gotta get your ready before you got a war with them guys. How is AJ's fine sister doing? Is AJ's sister fine? I can't remember what she looks like. I don't know. I don't want to end up with a Jake Paul Jorina. That seemed like too much issues. Lennox, while he's in contract, let's be real. Well, in contract or not, there's always ways of extracting information out of a deal without breaching the contract that the fighter has. Eddie just made an offer to Virgil Ortiz. Matchroom just made an offer to Virgil Ortiz to fight Boots, and then another fight here, and then another fight there. And he's still in this. Well, he's saying he's out of contract with Golden Boy, but we're still waiting for the lawsuit determination. Eddie just made a play. That's just, it's business. It's business. People ain't friends, man. People ain't friends. It's business. It's business. It's business. It is business. Brewer, you don't like Zuffa belt being sanctioned by Zuffa. Surely, in the interest of fairness, they should have an independent organization sanction the prize title. Why? They're a UBO. The UBO, well, they're still waiting for it to pass through federal law. But when it passes through federal law, there'll be a UBO. It's not exclusive to them. If you want to become a UBO, the infrastructure is there under federal law, which means you can be the promoter and the sanctioning body. You can be both. It's big business, man. This is what I'm saying. Like these new guys here on the contract shit, they're leaving the likes of Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum, and Frank Warren light years behind on their paperwork game. Light years behind. These, you see, this is what I talk. Listen. I said I'm gonna be big. I'm telling you, in a few months, you guys, I don't like the channel no more. That's what you're gonna be saying. You're gonna say I don't like the channel, and that's gonna be fair enough. But I told you guys, Oscar and Eddie spend too much time in front of the camera. You people need to be behind desks, talking, crunching up them legal documents, and drafting up ways that you can change the legislation so you can flex differently. I said this. I said it. It's not like I'm just saying it now. I said it. President Bush, he says, you and Barbershop Conversations have made great forecasts. Yeah. Me and Barbershop get a lot. Yeah. We predict a lot of shit. Yeah. And he's not a popular channel. Lady Chan said, yeah, you did. Thank you. He's not. People don't like him. They don't like him. Norman said that reminds me of Queen's Park Rangers when they came into money the last time they were in the Premier League. Sylvester, Eddie's the best in the game. He still is the best promoter, but got to start like. You see, when you look at it, yeah, Jack Solomon was the first great British boxing promoter. There was another guy before him, but we got to talk after we got out of the Second World War. So that's mid to late 40s. I mean, I haven't got the exact date. And then Harry Levine, he was a great promoter. He came up under Jack Solomon's, working with him. They fell out. I haven't got all the details. Jack Levine started working with the cartel. They came into the picture. So you had Jarvis Astaire, Mike Barrett, and Mickey Duff. Terry Lawless came later. Jarvis Astaire, he was a visionary, right? Serious visionary, right? The man managed people like Dustin Hoffman and had businesses in this field, that field, that field. He was a visionary. This man tried to put on closed circuit TV years before America tried to get it on, right? Years before. And he just managed not to get it done. But he was the first to put it on in the UK. And that was Ali versus Henry Cooper for the world title, the rematch. At, was it Wembley Stadium? It could have been Wembley Stadium. And the cartel run boxing until the likes of Barry Hearn and Frank Warren came in. And the cartel were getting old. And when it switched over from terrestrial television to Sky Sports and satellite, the cartel just couldn't keep pace with the change of platform, etc. And Frank and Eddie, or should I say Barry, left them in the dust. And then Frank dealt with Barry Hearn really and truly. He was the main dude. And then Eddie came along when social media was starting to pop, let's say 2010, 2011. And then Frank Warren was left in the dust. Frank really didn't really know how to utilize social media. He was an old boy, right? And Eddie left him behind. And now these new guys from TKO, they're giving Eddie all sorts of issues now. What goes around comes around. It's just business. It's just all business. You know what I mean? Frank was never in the dust. Shut up. Calm down, John. Calm down, my boy. Calm down. Calm down. Bam. Yeah, Wembley was the second for Cooper fight, I think, Mr. Buck. Wembley was the second Cooper fight. That was the first closed circuit event in this country. And you see, after Frank got rid of the cartel, he put the first pay-per-view, proper pay-per-view on with Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson, the rematch. So he was cutting edge at that time. You see them people there, you can't talk to them about anything. They love to tell you how Frank is killing Eddie. And Frank isn't in the shake-up in America. Frank hasn't got no international action. But they'll be telling you, oh, Frank killing Eddie. Killing you how? You've got no international action at all. Emotion. You see what it is? It's emotion. You're a feminine boy. Girl boy. You're a girly boy. You're a girly boy. You're a girly boy. Calm down. You're a girly boy. You're a girly boy. And I will talk to you like that if you act like an idiot. Hopefully, Conor gets the Shakur fight and he can do well in that. If he can do well in that, like, my gosh, world is his oyster. He would have conquered America. He'd have Haney, a lot of them looking for him. Like, Frank was never in the dust. Ask Company's house if he was never in the dust. Ask Company's house before Turkey came along if Frank weren't in the flipping dust. You people, I'm telling you, bro. people, just ridiculous, man. Ask Company's house if he wasn't in the dust. Yeah. Chisora was actually Frank's biggest star, Del Boy, in the Box Nation days. Was actually his biggest star. Mr. Doc says Frank was almost out of the game. He was almost done. Look, listen. Where would Frank Warren be now if the Zone, the same platform that he told Eddie that he shouldn't leave, he should stay on Sky, where would Frank be now without the Zone? Where would he be? The facts are, right? Eddie took the gamble to go on the Zone, an unproven platform. He took the gamble, right? Frank followed him over there. Eddie took the gamble on women's boxing, which everyone said was going to flop. And then Frank tried to sign Nicola Adams and Raven Chapman. That's the facts. That's the facts. The younger dudes normally always bring a different energy. That's how that goes. That's how that goes. Frank's ventures in Box Nation left him in a lot of financial crap. And when he was with BT, there was no, well, apart from Tyson Fury, right? Who did he have? Listen. Let me show you how powerful Frank Warren was, yeah? Right? After Tyson Fury drew with Deontay Wilder in the first fight, who did he run to because he couldn't handle the magnitude of the business? He had to cut Bob Arum in. He had to cut Bob Arum in because he couldn't handle the magnitude of the business that Tyson was getting involved in America. He had to cut in Bob Arum. Do you think Eddie Hearn would have needed Bob Arum? Do you think Bob Arum would have been got a phone call from Eddie Hearn? No. Ask Company's house. Apart from Tyson Fury, I'll tell you who he had a TV deal. You can't even write properly. I don't know what you're talking about, really. Del Boy, I love Box Nation back in the day, but honestly, the cards from Russia, Rybinsky, if you remember him, were better than Warren's cards back then. The Russian dude? Man, Frank Warren is a Hall of Fame promoter, so don't know why you got emotional. I tell you what, if you're trying to back up Frank Warren, you don't know more about Frank Warren's career as a promoter than I do. I bet you any money you don't. Frank is a bit more Barry Hearn era, is he not? Yeah, Frank is Frank came at the Grosvenor House first. He put Jerry the Bull Martin on. Jerry the Bull Martin versus Otis Gordon. And that was his first British Boxing Board of Control card. He was expecting to get the fight televised in America, but they withdrew. At that time, the cartel who I was talking about, they ate up all the TV dates on the BBC. All of them. Frank couldn't get no TV money. He lost a lot of money on that card. His first British title fight was Clinton McKenzie at 140 against Steve Early. That was around 1982. And his first actual champion in his stable was Keith Wallace, a Liverpudlian fighter, flyweight, Commonwealth champion. My dad used to work as a laborer for my dad, Keith Wallace. My dad knew him. And then his first champion, Frank Warren, was Terry Marsh. 1987, he beat Joe Louis Manley for the IDF title. So if you think you can tell me more about Frank Warren, you can't, bro. You can't. You can't. You can't tell me more than what I know. They didn't leave. They got pushed out, DW. They got pushed out. They got old. They became old boys. And like I said, when the satellite era came with Sky, they just fell apart. They just fell apart. They fell apart. They fell apart. That was Barry Hearn. Barry was some promoter, bro. That's where Eddie gets it from. If you saw Barry Hearn talking up Herbie Hyde, bro. Why doesn't Sven Otka go watch some of the fights? That's why he doesn't get his flowers. Go watch some of the fights and the crooked decisions. But he was a decent fighter, though. Barry Hearn, he got his first breakout in 1987, same year when Frank got his first champion. Barry Hearn put on Frank Bruno versus Joe Bugler at White Hart Lane, what you know as Tottenham Stadium today. He presented both fighters with the option to take 250K flat or a lower percentage and 35% of the profits. Bugler took the 250, Bruno took the lower percentage and 35% of the profits, and he walked out with 450K. They sold 40,000 tickets, which was good. Barry was he was a bit of a swine, weren't he? So what he did to get a gate, he said, "We're not going to broadcast the fight live." And what they did was around 10:30, the ITV broadcast started, and he was just 7 minutes away, where if the fight clashed with when the program started, it would have been false advertising. And some of the press weren't too pleased about that, but Barry didn't care. Barry did what he had to do. Barry's first champion was Christopher Livingston Eubank, who beat Nigel Benn for that WBO middleweight title in Birmingham. Great fight. You know what I mean? Barry did his thing, man. Barry was a good promoter. The face of the cartel was Mickey Duff. Right? Jarvis Astaire, he was a good businessman. And they had both the main venues, which was Wembley Arena and the Royal Albert Hall. Mike Barrett, he was the guy who had the Royal Albert Hall locked down. You know what I mean? And out of about 190 television dates on BBC in a span of how many years, I'm not too sure. Only 4 dates went to promoters outside of the cartel. And I believe that was probably 2 apiece for Frank Warren and Barry Hearn. 4 dates out of 190 plus cards. Yeah. Cartel, they weren't no joke, man. There wasn't no joke. The cartel were getting the British Boxing Board of Control to poach fighters away from their managers. The British Boxing, Ray Clark, right? They can't sue me because I've got the documents there, right? Was going up to the likes of Eddie Thomas, the manager of Ken Buchanan, and telling them You need to sign with the cartel. You need to get your guy to sign with the cartel. Trying to poach the boxers away from the managers. That was regular. That was standard procedure. It was. If you think it was bad now, it was even worse back then. It was even worse. It was draconian. But people don't want to hear all that old school shit. People get bored. I don't blame them. Talking old shit. What's up with Conor? How long we been on there? Any more Conor Benn news? Probably not. Probably not. Probably have to get some more news tomorrow. Who you got tomorrow? Lee Wood. Or Josh Warrington? I think Josh Warrington. I don't know why I tell you what, man. Lee Wood looks so bad against Kakache. Mr. Doc's got Wood by second half KO. He looked horrible against Kakache. He looked like Rob Tennant says Eddie needs to sign Conor McGregor. I just got a feeling that Warrington might be too quick. He was too quick last time until he got caught. But see, the thing is, it's not a 4-minute fight. You know what I'm saying? You've got to do it for 12.
Because I'm in boxing, there's so many scumbags in boxing. So everybody in boxing is a scumbag. Even me, I'm a scumbag. That's why I'm wearing it. Daddy, why are you wearing a t-shirt that says scumbag on it? Because I'm in boxing, there's so many scumbags in boxing. So everybody in boxing is a scumbag.
Wow. Everyone's saying they feel for Eddie. Eddie's got this big Mexican showdown next week. Big Mexican showdown with Nunes and Navarrete. Yeah? And he's got Wood and Warrington tomorrow. Nice undercard. Eddie will move on. Eddie will move on. He's got AJ coming back in July. He just signed a 5-year deal. Come on now, man. Eddie's all right, man. Eddie's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Del Boy says Warrington was winning the first. Yes, he was. He was punching Wood up. DW. Probably Lee Wood again. Really not sure about the Ryan Garcia fight. I've got Barris beating. He's big, Barris. Barris is big. Hey, listen, Barris did better against Tank than Ryan did. He done way better. Del Boy says Navarrete versus Nunes could be fight of the year. It's a big fight, man. Mr. Doc, he likes Barrios too. Daniel says Warrington stopping Wood to the body. Yeah. Oh, you got Navarrete beating Nunes? I've got to break that one down. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Mr. Doc says mainly because he doesn't believe in Ryan. You've got Navarrete if he is at his best. Issue is he is inconsistent. Nunes got a bit took some hard punches in the fight I saw last time. Was that against the Japanese guy? Daniel said they served up Barrios after his performance against Manny, but I think that round will get the split decision if it goes to the cards. Or if it's political, you think Ryan will get it? Could do. Mike Henry says Warrington gets clipped again after leading the fight. Interesting. You know. Conor's pissed for. I tell you what, man. Conor's got enough people pissed. I ain't pissed at all. I ain't what like I'm just wondering why people have got such an attachment to a business decision. Yeah, it's a shocker though. Don't get me wrong. I was shocked. I'm not gonna say I ain't shocked. I'm just as shocked as anyone, but they're saying he stabbed Eddie in the back. He didn't stab him in the back. People, he didn't. He stood by him because he was an investment. Who's he talking to? He talking to Dane already? Conor is one of the biggest stars in the sport, bro. I mean, it is what it is. Del Boy says he doesn't trust Ryan for obvious reasons, and I don't rate Barrios. Gut is telling me Barrios hands the belt over. That Lady Chan. It was because Eddie was only on IFL talking about future plans with Conor yesterday. That's how it goes, isn't it? That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. There's competition in the air. It's competition. Competition. He got serious competition now. You know what I mean? Ben Shalom must be loving this, boy. He must be absolutely loving this. Yeah, Shalom having a field day, man. Having a field day. That's what. Listen, when you're the top dude like Eddie was, it's a long way to drop. It's a long way to drop, man. They're trying to say Eddie's reacting to it. Eddie ain't reacting to it yet. Still waiting for Eddie's reaction. Oh gosh. Netflix offered Fisher the money to fight TKV. Wow. It's hard being a boxing promoter though, bro. It's tough. Very tough. It's very tough life, bro. Because the unpredictability and instability of the boxing model makes it very, 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 very tough, man. Makes it tough. Delboy says people saying Ben stabbed Eddie in the back are the types who would get their pants pulled down in the world. I didn't like Conor, to be honest, but I give him credit for being switched on. Got to be switched on. Yeah. Got to be switched on. That's not, listen, Conor's dad raised him up very tough. Raised him up very tough. Nigel raised him up tough. You know what I mean? Everything boxing is saying it's a one fight deal worth more than 10 million. Dan Raphael, he's saying it's a one fight deal, 8-figure deal to fight this spring in the UK. Chris Mannix is saying it's a one fight deal. Life changing money. With a chance to hit free agency after his next fight. While Mayweather has announced plans to return to the ring ahead of his spring exhibition against Mike Tyson. Got debts, boy. Like Floyd got them debts, innit? Like Floyd got them debts. Lance Pugmire, he says, the Conor Benn move to Zuffa is the talk all around at the T-Mobile Arena right now. That's all it's in America is big news. One attached attorney says, don't feel bad for the jilted promoter. Ben was free, and an injury anytime leaves him exposed to a dramatic earnings decrease. Hey, this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying. Short career. Short career. This is why the boxers, they need to get a union. You boxers don't want to put your hand in your pocket for a union. You're all going to pay for it. Yeah? If you get a union, going, funded properly, you'll get financial advice, crucial financial and legal advice on the game that you need. Yeah? Don't think that professional footballers had everything handed to them. No. Footballers had to go through unions to get some of their rights. Unions. From Jimmy Hill, the PFA in the late 50s to the late 60s, who done away with the maximum wage. You do realize, yeah, right? You do realize the same footballers you're seeing in the Premier League and Serie A earning millions, right? It started in the UK. They were earning £20 a week, just like regular workers. Yeah, they weren't earning any more than what the milkman or any other regular worker was working. When they got rid of that, it changed. And when they put the Bosman ruling in, another union, this is all union. When the Bosman ruling came in, it changed the game again for footballers. They need listen, throw the Muhammad Ali Act in the bin. Throw it in the bin. You need to get a union. You need to get a union. That's what you need, is a union. This is the time, like, boxers need to, like, organize themselves, man. Get themselves organized. And the information's here. Like, there's nothing you can't do with social media. Right? Look at Conor with Dana, man, hugged up, you know, and Keith Connolly there. What's Keith Connolly doing there? He's flipping Floyd Mayweather signed with CSI Sports and Fight Sports, plotting pro return to the ring. Oh, he's going pro after the Tyson exhibition? You're going to get knocked out, bro. Floyd returning to the ring. Yeah. He's putting his 50-0 record on the line. See, that's where the money is putting that record on the line, because there's so many people who would like to see him lose that record. O'Hara Davis. All that shit Eddie said about Dana White. Dana did what bosses do. Don't war with words. Just take a star fighter instead. Oh, have IFL got something up? There's 32 minutes ago, Eddie Hearn exclusive on Conor Benn signing with Zuffa boxing live in 10 minutes. All right, we're that there, IFL. We're that there. Oh man, it's live. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to go watch this. I'm gonna have to go watch this. I'm gonna close the stream down. Peace.